Now that we understand what automation is, let's talk about the starting point of every automation: triggers. Nothing happens in automation until a trigger fires. A trigger is the event that tells GoHighLevel that something just happened, now take action. What triggers do? Triggers only answer one question: when should this workflow start? They don't send SMS, they don't move leads, they only listen for events. So let's explore all the workflow triggers we have inside GoHighLevel Workflow Builder. So let's click on this trigger, and in this video we're going to try a couple of triggers. Okay, so these are the recent triggers. Recent triggers means the triggers that have been used recently in our workflows. So from here it officially starts. These are all the sections. GoHighLevel has divided itself into these sections, and their respective triggers have been enclosed in these sections. You can see that in contact section, all the triggers are related to contacts, and in a similar way for all these sections, for events and appointments as well. Let's stick to contacts. First of all, we have birthday reminder. From its name, it shows that it will be used for birthday reminder campaign. So we will add a filter. Filters are the main game changers over here. Without filters, you cannot make complex automations. It gives you the facility to create complex automations. For example, in this way, we can select if we want to send a sequence of SMS after such number of days of birthday or before. It depends upon your campaign, upon your business. It depends upon your product. It all depends upon your strategy. So normally we wish somebody their birthday before their birthday. So we'll select before number of days, and there we'll have to specify number of days. So let's say 2 days before the birthday. We'll select it. Save the trigger. But in this trigger, there was a tricky part, a tricky question, that will this workflow be applicable to all the contacts we have in the CRM right now, like the whole database, or we'll have to add the contacts manually or through any other trigger to this workflow? So the answer is, and I will give you a tip on that as well. If you click on this trigger, you will get this option over here, and it tells you the whole story. That it tells us the trigger runs at 8 a.m. daily. It means it runs on the whole database 8 a.m. daily and check if somebody has a birthday today, and then it will start the sequence accordingly. We'll save it, and now we'll move on to another trigger. And with this, you will get to know that we can add more than one triggers to a workflow as well. Contact changed. So contact changed means, casually, it means that anything in a contact record has been changed. And then again, there comes the filters. By filters, you can specify that I need only this change to be a trigger of this workflow. And then you can add filters. And there's only your creativity that limits it. You can apply any custom field or standard field to this condition. For example, assigned user. If you want to trigger a workflow based on assigned user being changed, so you can apply this has changed, only has changed. It means that whenever a user is changed from a contact, that contact will be added to this workflow. And if you want to be more specific about it, then there's another option that is has changed to. Then you can select any of your team member, and now if a contact has been assigned to this team member, then this workflow will trigger for that contact. And you can add more than one filters as well. You can select any of the other field. For example, same goes for city. And then if you want to be notified, like I said, the trigger's job is to notify you that this event has been happened. So if you want to be notified which contact's city has been changed, so you can apply this trigger. And if you want to be more specific, like the above one, that city has been changed to New York. And then the next trigger is contact created. This trigger is normally used without any filters. You can save it, and whenever a new contact is created, this workflow will be triggered. But if you want to be more specific, and for example, you want to select the contact type equals to customers only. So you don't want to fire this sequence for new leads. You just want to send these kind of SMS to your recurring customers only. So you can select this. And again, you can play around with all the options available over here, and according to your use case, you can use these things and test it, how it turns out to be, and save the trigger. At this point, you don't need to memorize every trigger. The goal of this video was to understand what triggers are, how they work, and how they start automations. Each trigger exists for a specific business event, and explaining all of them in one video only creates confusion. So instead of rushing through everything, in the next videos we'll break triggers down one by one, and in some cases we'll directly connect the trigger with real actions so you can see how automations behaves in real scenarios. Once you understand a trigger with its actions, you don't just remember it, you will understand it. We'll continue from here in the next lesson.